That's right, baby. Hello, everyone, and welcome into B&T Sportstalk Show. You heard it out of the mouth of the man.
You didn't hear that? That was fun for me. A lie.
Oh, man, we appreciate y'all joining us this evening. Man, a busy Sunday, not in the way that we expected, and we will talk all about it, all the happenings in the NFL. We'll definitely be going over our respective teams, the Lakers and the Warriors, as they continue to, well, you know, create a little bit of excitement. So we'll definitely get into that.
Little bit.
Make sure you subscribe. That's the biggest thing. Subscribe. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Hit the notification button if you're a subscriber. Hey, look, check this out. We've been growing pretty quickly. We're quickly approaching 200 subscribers.
One away, folks. One away.
After being at 162, I want to say, for almost a good or better portion of a year. So we appreciate folks jumping in. Checking out some of our short form videos in the way of highlights and others. So we're gonna keep cracking. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. So hopefully, again, it's just your first time with us. Man, check us out. Share us with somebody. We're just giving y'all the just dollar for dollar opinion. We're regular people, okay? And just kind of giving our own opinion on sports and how we feel about what's happening in sports at large. So B, how you doing, man?
Happy daylight savings to everybody. Like now, sun's still out until what, 7:30 or so.
I love it.
Dude, you know what? I honestly think they should just get rid of it and just keep this the time frame. Like, I honestly don't think we should go backwards ever again. Like, this should be it here. Who doesn't like the sun being out until 7:30?
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Especially if you have kids. Growing up as a kid, that was dope. Because you know why? Because the lights never came on until later in the evening. So guess what that meant? Your ass was out late playing with kids.
That's right.
So, got to enjoy it. Me personally, I think we should get rid of it. I think this should be the norm. Sundown at 8 o'clock, man, just helps bring a better vibe with that there. So that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, when we get into July and August, sun won't go down till 8:30, 9 o'clock. So yeah, it's
gotta love that, man. Love it. Or you could just move to Alaska, where it's just it's barely dark over there. I don't want
insomnia, dude. I don't want to be daytime for 15 hours. I'm good on that. I might go crazy. Oh man, but all right. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah,
we're gonna hit on everything. Like I said, we'll start with our respective teams. I think we'll start there, and then we'll jump into really a ton of news within the NFL. Honestly, a lot of unexpected. Well, I won't say unexpected, but NFL.
Yeah, everything. Every alert that came through my phone, I wasn't expecting that.
A lot of people moving around.
Tad bit.
A lot of people moving around. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. B, do you want to start? You want to start there, or you want to?
As well.
Let's start with it.
It's the hottest thing right now.
Let's start with it, and we'll start with some of the big names. We'll go down the list, but I think one of the biggest.
You want to start with your boy? You want to start with your boy?
I mean, our new boy? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Oh, you talking about? Okay,
Davante Adams. He's about to play for his third team in a year.
We can. Davante Adams got released by the who was he playing for? The New York Jets, and subsequently was picked up. I find it a little curious that he was released and not traded. I guess the Jets they wanted him out that badly that they just were like, sorry, Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, we don't even want to trade you. We're just going to release you, and good luck with the rest of your life. I guess in a way they're kind of letting them choose where they want to go instead of sort of taking the control away from them. Whatever. Yeah. But in any case, he goes to the Rams. So the Rams are looking to renovate, or I guess, start over again, or get one more stab at some of the magic that they got, that they had, years prior when they went to the Super Bowl. I think he'll be a great pickup, along with a hopefully healthy Cooper Kupp, if they don't trade Cooper Kupp.
I think they got to trade Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, they might end it. Yeah, I mean, he's a slot guy. He could fit in. Davante Adams plays on the edges, so I mean, it's possible. But yeah, you're right. The Rams might decide to get him off. Well, you know what? I'm giving Davante Adams a lot of slack, a lot of crap, and a lot of that is because I'm a Raider fan, and he was on the Raiders for a little while. I can't blame him so much for leaving. I blamed him for leaving a 3-9 team at the time and going to another 3-9 team.
Yeah,
that's what I was upset about. Now, if he had left the Raiders and they traded him to the Ravens, or if they traded him to the Buffalo Bills, or I don't know, a team that actually had an opportunity to compete, I would have been okay with that. But the fact that he wanted to play with his buddy Aaron Rodgers so bad that he was willing to go to one of the crappiest franchises in the entire NFL.
Yep.
Kind of baffles the mind. I didn't quite understand that one. So hopefully this is a slightly better move. Depends on Matt Stafford's health and how much he has left. We'll see, man. What was your take on?
Here's the crazy part. Matthew Stafford is not a young chicken either.
No, exactly. Yeah,
he old too.
Yeah.
I did not expect the Rams to be even involved with wanting to get Davante Adams. I really thought he was going to come back to the Bay Area and sign with the 49ers after moving off of Deebo Samuel. And the only reason why is he has his camp here, Palo Alto High. He's a Bay Area kid. You know what I'm saying? So I really would have thought that he would at least want to come and give it a shot to play with the Niners, knowing that that's probably one of your best chances of getting back into any sort of playoff picture there. And now you go to the Rams, and if it wasn't for as bad as the division was for the NFC West, I don't think the Rams would even have made it in. So this is an interesting move on Davante Adams' part. I can't wait to hear why he chose the LA Rams, because who's the coach? Remind me who their coach is again.
The young guy. What's his name?
Because I'm blanking on his name right now.
I know. I can see his face. I'll look it up for. I got you, B.
But he's even talking about retiring too.
Yeah, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay was actually thinking about stepping away from the game because he won his Super Bowl. Like, the man just wanted to win one, and he seemed to be pretty content with it. Yeah. So he's kind of fumbling around with retiring. But you have an old Matthew Stafford. You do have Puka Nacua, so that's going to be good there. I don't see what he saw in the Rams that was like, this is a team where I could possibly win a Super Bowl. Like, I just don't see it in them.
Yeah, well, I think, things kind of are changing a little bit, right? I mean, we saw what happened and we'll talk about it later, what's going on with the Seattle Seahawks, right? So obviously,
oh God, are they going to have anybody to throw to?
Seriously. So the division there's still an opportunity within that division to make some noise, obviously. And with what some of the teams in that division are doing, the Rams, they've got a chance. The 49ers, obviously, we'll talk about them too, have also made some smaller moves. And more, of course, the Deebo Samuel thing being the biggest one. So I think the Rams isn't a terrible landing spot. The only thing I could say about it is, at least age-wise, it coincides with Matthew Stafford's shelf life. So once Matthew decides to hang it up, I'm assuming Davante, you can move on from that as well and just kind of restart the whole thing over again. I think, like I said, I think Davante Adams will give them a A1 receiver. They've been missing Cooper Kupp due to injury. Was it last year and some of this year, and so maybe this is a great opportunity for him to at least make the playoffs, because the Rams did do that. So he wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't gonna happen with the Jets, but he'll at least be in the playoffs. At least he'll have an opportunity to compete.
Matthew, you know what? Now that you talk about it, Matthew Stafford can at least throw the deep ball a little bit. I'm not saying he's accurate, but Davante Adams is a deep ball threat, so he helps stretch the field in a major way there. Where Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are just not those kind of receivers,
right?
To stretch the field. So I guess
I think it might work. I'm still gonna beat up the guy a little bit.
We're gonna beat him up.
It was kind of dumb to go the Jets. That was stupid. Let's call it what it is. That was dumb. The whole and let's look at it this way. And I don't know why, but Davante Adams wants to play with his friends. Okay, he wants to play with his friend he wants to play with Derek Carr, his college buddy.
Yep.
In Oakland,
Raider said, "See you later."
Or in Vegas, and they got rid of him. Then he wants to go play with his other buddy, with the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm really hopeful that he's run out of quarterback friends, because it's not working for him. Don't go play with your friend. Go play for a team where you can actually win. Maybe that he should put that at the top of the list instead of trying to be buddies. I want my quarterback to be my buddy. That shouldn't even be on the list no more. Cross that out and go play for a contender, please. And I think that's what he's trying to do here.
Well, we'll see here.
Yeah. And take the Taco Bell out of your house, because it's not working, bro.
I don't think that's really in his house.
I know it's not. I'm just being funny.
Oh,
but seriously, but don't eat so much. I know he loves Taco Bell, but stop eating that stuff. Come on,
let's be realistic.
He's not really eating that. Game day, he's chomping down a crunchy taco.
I don't know. Well, I mean, remember Chad Ochocinco ate McDonald's 3 days, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner his entire NFL career. So I wouldn't be shocked if an NFL player eats
Chad Ochocinco has surgery on his ding dong. We're not gonna.
Chad Ochocinco's also got problems, man. Did you hear calling out James Harrison in a UFC fight?
I wouldn't know. He's trying to die.
He really wants to fight him, and everyone's like, "Dude, don't! You're gonna die." He goes, "I ain't scared. I'm from the hood." And I'm like, James Harrison.
It doesn't matter what hood you're from. Yeah, that guy is not normal. That's that man would survive in a prison. He's not a normal individual.
Not at all.
No.
Your boy, I'm going to say DK Metcalf got paid today.
So DK Metcalf, this is very interesting because at first I
was shocked.
This took about 3 days. The first, it was the announcement that the Seattle, of course, after trading Geno Smith to the Raiders, which we'll get into as well, they, obviously what's left, right? Obviously the Seahawks are saying Seahawks are throwing up the white flag. We're starting over. We're selling their house. We're selling everything. So DK Metcalf, of course, requested the trade. He is being considered in a trade, and he gets traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and very shortly thereafter gets paid. So we know that the agents were definitely in communication to make sure that wherever he went, he was going to get his money. I think it's the exciting pickup. He gets to play with his old quarterback. I think. Is he going to stay there?
It's hard to tell because you have to choose between Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
I'm thinking Russell Wilson will stay because I've been hearing Justin Fields in some conversations with the Jets, or at least there was a report about Justin Fields possibly going to the Jets. But
that may not be too bad.
But we'll see. Either way, I think it's a great pickup for the Steelers. They did not have a 1A receiver. They did have
George Pickens.
Thank you. They have Pickens, but Pickens was very sometime.
Cannonball.
Yeah, he would make a miraculous play one game, and then the next game not even run his routes anymore. It was an interesting situation. So
tackle people for no reason.
Yeah, he was a struggle.
But it is a good matchup. Now you do have to pick and choose who you want on each side, right?
Yeah.
Like you have DK on one side, who's a playmaker, and George Pickens is also a playmaker as well. So this is going to give either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. We'll wait to see how this plays out. That's a very good target.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Pat Freiermuth as your tight end.
Yes, your tight end. You got Najee Harris. Yeah, absolutely.
That offense just got 10 times better just by bringing in DK Metcalf.
And we know the Pittsburgh Steelers can play defense. They've been doing that for 20 years. Yeah. So it's really been about how can they create. They haven't had a really great wide receiver since Antonio Brown. And so I think this is the step they needed to take. So I think that's a great pickup for the Steelers.
That may be the best one so far. Out of everything that's taken place today, him going to the Steelers is probably the best move right now that's happened. Although, it's only the first day of, all these announcements here.
Yeah, well, let's start, and free agency starts Monday, folks. So these are the trades and the re-signings that are happening.
Yeah.
If folks are wondering. So the Raiders. The Raiders had an issue at quarterback. We talked about it, right? Were they going to go into a rebuild mode, or were they going to try to stitch and move forward? Unfortunately, they've taken this path of stitch and move forward. They're going to get Geno Smith. And I'm not mad at Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith is
that's not bad at all.
He's going to throw some interceptions. He's going to throw some picks. That's a part of the game. But exactly. But he's also going to throw. He's a second tier or third tier quarterback in this league. He's capable of playing in big games. He's done it before. So I'm not mad at that. I think Geno Smith would have been great last year. So we'll see how this works out. The Raiders do end up getting Geno Smith. What was the payoff? I don't see it.
I think it's a 2-year deal.
2-year deal.
I think so. Yeah,
$45 million or something. I got to go back and look.
But I guess the bigger question, is who's he throwing to?
Yeah,
you can't throw to your tight end every game.
We don't have any wide receivers, so you would have to think that the Raiders in the draft, even though they screwed themselves on that, are going to look for a young wide receiver to bring into the mix here. I couldn't see a situation where they don't, unless there's some more trades or free agency signings. We saw the Jaguars give up 2 of their wide receivers was it? Yeah. Kirk and who was the other one?
Blanking.
Dude,
look it up.
NFL's moved so fast, it's hard to even keep up. But anyway, as far as the Geno Smith setup, I think like I said, it does mean we're kind of stitching it. And I got to ask the question, B, and this is, I'm asking you, I'm a Raider fan. My personal belief is they need to restart this thing, get some new talent, and just grow and move. Okay, just start it over. But I understand they're in Vegas. They got to keep the tickets and the money flowing in. But how many times can you realistically do this, man?
You can't.
Like, how many times can you do it? Like, it was Jimmy Garoppolo, and then it was, Garden Minshew, and then Aiden O'Connell got lost in the wash. And now
he's still lost
Smith.
In the wash.
Yeah, he is.
Like, they're still like, nah, we don't trust you. So we'll bring in Geno Smith. Hey, bro, 2 years. Like, you need a quarterback for the future,
right?
Not for 2 years. That's the whole. That's what you brought Gardner Minshew in on a 2-year deal.
Right.
Now, granted, you did sign Garoppolo for, I think it was 5, but then he got hurt.
You released him.
Yeah, and you released him after that. So you better find somebody and just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to stick it out at some point and maybe give the quarterback 3, no more than 4 years to really try to figure that out. And then maybe try to keep a core of players with you as well to figure this out. Because all I'm saying is you had Davante Adams. You then took that away from him. Then he wanted out. You had who else? You can't sign a wide receiver right now. You don't know who is out there available. Your best weapon is a tight end, but there's only so many plays you can run with a tight end.
2 tight ends.
Yeah,
Mayers and Bowers, like those are the guys. I mean, that's all.
Unless you ask Bowers to go line up on the outside and become a wide receiver, but you need to also address the running back room. Zamir White was supposed to be the guy. That's the whole reason why they let Josh Jacobs go, and he was a shell of himself. Like, he did not pan out. Now, granted, things can change this year. We don't know, but like, there's some bigger questions. I would much rather build a room with position players and then find a quarterback that fits that system. So now you're trying to build around Geno Smith, and that's going to be a little difficult. But I mean, I don't know if Geno Smith's going to sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a draw, but you needed a quarterback, and I think this is the best option that you have. And I think the Raiders did a good job with getting him with that there. So. Now we'll find out who you guys throw to at this point.
Yeah, man. So I'm over here dying. So Amir Abdullah, Sincere McCormick, who got a lot of the carries towards the end of the season. Again, like you said, you really just don't know in that running back room who's going to play, and they obviously do not have a number one at this point. It is open for discussion all the way around.
Cooper Kupp, maybe. Maybe the Raiders go get Cooper Kupp.
Maybe if he wants to play for the Raiders, if he likes Vegas, we'll see.
Who doesn't love Vegas, first and foremost?
I think the other big sign that we should talk about is the fact that after requesting a trade, Myles Garrett decides to re-sign with the Browns. What the heck was that about?
That make no sense, man. I don't want to be here no more. I'll take that record-breaking contract. Thank you very much. I'll stay.
Right.
Oh,
right.
What?
Dude, and I gotta, take, in most cases, who are we to say, right? If it's us, we generally, take the money. But it's the Browns.
It's the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, maybe take like $10 million less and go play for a team that you can actually compete on. I mean, the Browns probably won't bring back Deshaun Watson. Jameis Winston doesn't have a job. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't know why they don't just allow Jameis Winston to be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Like, they responded to him pretty well. So I don't see why they wouldn't bring him back. But why does Myles Garrett want to just suffer? Like, just leave, man.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Every other, like, even you think about the Baker Mayfield thing, right? Yeah. He's with the Bucs. He's balling. And they're not going to Super Bowl or anything, but they're competing every night. They got an opportunity. Yep. They're in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
And here Myles Garrett is like, I'm on my way out the door, y'all. Peace. And they were like, wait, hold on. Let me talk to you for a minute. How about we make you the richest, DE in the league, defensive tackle or defensive end in the league? And he said, okay. Right. So my man's gonna take the money.
April Fools. I'm just joking. I'm not going nowhere. Like,
I don't really dislike you guys that much, like
those couple extra zeros you threw in there. I appreciate you, big dog. I think I'll stick around.
Yeah.
But then at some point you become miserable because you're like, damn, we still suck at this point.
All right, what's the over 2 years?
Well, this is gonna happen.
It's gonna be hilarious, man.
Cleveland Browns. Come on.
He's gonna sign this big contract, and then they're gonna stink it up for 2 years.
Thanks for the contract. I'll see you later.
And then he's gonna get traded. Yeah, oh man, but the NFL contracts are funky, man. So I don't know how much of it's guaranteed. You know what I mean? You might get a certain amount of guaranteed money, and then they could just cut him for $0. You know how these contracts in the NFL
signing
are,
bonus too. Oh yeah. I bet you Jameis Winston gave him like a motivational speech to get him back there. He probably told him we're gonna eat some W's. Cleveland ain't eating W's in a while. They're still taking L's. And
the Cleveland Cavaliers are the ones with all the wins at this point. So
absolutely.
And now if I saw it said he signed with the Cavaliers, then I might have. Myles Garrett signed to a 10-day contract with the Cavs. Oh, okay. Well,
Myles Garrett could ball.
No,
dude.
he can.
He's actually a pretty decent basketball player. You know what? I would love to see someone try to take a charge with Myles Garrett coming down the lane at like 90 miles an hour. Try stepping in front of that and taking a charge. I'm good, dude. You can have the layup. I ain't that stupid.
No, not them arms. That's them shoulders. Yeah, man. That's just like mini Dwight Howard.
Nope, we don't want to compare him to that.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I meant like Dwight Howard playing basketball, not. Okay, shut up. All right, now so let's go. Let's move on. We talked about
Papa J. What's good, man? Welcome to the chat, Papa J. You caught us at the best time. Great. Thanks for stopping in, Papa J.
We talked about. Oh, by the way, I see there's about 4 folks in the chat. Feel free to jump in. We open to any chat. Anything y'all want to talk about, shoot it at us. Let us know how you feeling, what you're thinking about, what sport topics are on the top of your mind, and we will gladly discuss it. Talking about zeros, there was a guy who got got paid. And that's none other than the MVP or reigning MVP, Josh Allen. Josh Allen got the $330 million 6-year deal.
$250 million guaranteed. That's wild. Holy shnikes, man.
That's still not as good as Kirk Cousins. It's still not as good as Kirk Cousins. Because Kirk Cousins did Kirk get $200 million guaranteed, or did he get? He got 200 first. Well, he got 2 franchise tags for about 60, 70 mil. About 60. What was it, about 60 a piece? 60, 50 a piece.
A little something like that.
And then he turned around and got the $200 million guaranteed.
And now Atlanta's going to move off of him because they want to start Michael Penix Jr.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I need Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins' agent is a G, man.
Congrats, Kirk Cousins. Way to finesse the league and get paid.
He ain't got to even win a Super Bowl, man. He probably just, oh my. Anyway, let's get back to Josh Allen. So, Josh Allen, $330 million, definitely deserves it. What else do they got going on in Buffalo other than wings? And so I think this is it's a great pickup. Great pickup for him. Or great extension. Extension. Yes. So he's going to be a Buffalo Bill for pretty much his entire prime at this point, which he should be. They do need to go and get another wide receiver. So hopefully the Bills are on the market to fix that. The question is, though.
Oh, let's talk about this question.
And
all Niner fans are going to have to discuss this.
$330 million is what is the most immediate number that we've seen. That's $330 for 6 years, $250 million guaranteed for a quarterback who, although played well this year, has not really been to the AFC Championship game. And
he's been to 2. Yeah,
he's been to 2. Excuse me, but lost them. Right? He didn't go to any no Super Bowls. To the guy with the bigger contract, yes.
Yep.
But he hasn't made it to the Super Bowl. So there's a certain team in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, that has a quarterback who has overachieved on his contract. That would be none other than Brock Purdy with the 49ers.
Yep.
Mr. Irrelevant, last pick in the draft, came in, showed a lot of great things, went to the Super Bowl, played the NFC Championship game, and for all intents and purposes, is one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and is up for a contract. We're talking about a difference in paychecks right now. We're talking about a guy that was the last pick in the draft. My man is probably making like $500,000 right now.
No, literally, that's what he's making right now.
$500,000.
Not hitting $1 million.
He's not even at $1 million because he was the last pick. He is about to get Donkey Kong paid. Like he's about to get. I mean, he already got married, right?
He did get married.
Damn. Hope he got a prenup. I'm saying, like, his whole life is about to change. So how much the Niners can't get away from this? They're gonna have to pay him. B, what's your thoughts on this? Will Brock Purdy's contract be bigger than this? Will it be bigger than Josh Allen's?
Yes, it will. So I'm gonna ask you this right off the bat: is it worth $360 million? Josh Allen just set the quarterback market for this one right now, right?
Yeah.
First, it was Patrick Mahomes, because then you saw Lamar Jackson get paid. Then you see Josh Allen get this payment. Now you have to ask yourself, is $360 million worth for Brock Purdy? You have advocated for him to get paid. This is a large amount of money that you have to consider here. And that's why the Niners are in the position that they are, because they can't sign anybody until they figure this contract out. They cannot make any moves until they figure out what they want to do with Brock Purdy's contract. So I don't think it's 360. I don't think he resets the market. I think he's just right below it. Papa J says 300 mil. I think it's 280. I don't think he sees 300 mil, because he's got it. You're going to ask him to take a hometown discount to keep this team competitive, right? You have to, or you're going to see a lot of guys go. Then it's like you're paying somebody 380 mil. Is he worth that with the mediocre roster? Like, that's what you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, well, I think he's gonna get paid. I think it'll be a smidgen. It'll be around what Josh Allen is getting paid. There's a chance it might be a little bit less, but I don't think it's gonna be $280 million. I don't think it's gonna be that much less. I think we're still looking at right around that $300 million number. Like as Papa J, I think, said, he's got, what did he have? 300 million, 180 guaranteed.
Papa J has him at 300 mil with 180 guaranteed and well deserved.
Yeah. I think that's in the neighborhood. I think his guaranteed money will be right at that 200 mark, though, because I just don't see him taking that much less. If I'm negotiating, why in the hell would I take less than 200 whenever somebody got 50 million more? I'm already getting less than them already. There's no reason for me to go below 200. I don't see the point in that. So I think let's say 315, 200, 315 mil contract. 200
guaranteed.
That's what I'm putting out there.
Papa J, how much you standing on that contract? I want to know, because you know what? I want to give Papa J something, but I want to see if he can nail this contract. How high are you on 5-year 300 mil for Brock Purdy with 180 guaranteed? Do you think that's going to be the number there? Dude, you know how much he made this past year? $985,000.
A little less than a mil, yep. A little less than a mil.
If he gets less than 55, his agent will never have another client ever again. Yo, his agent is under a lot of pressure to make sure his guy gets paid.
Oh yeah.
But Papa J, let me know. All right, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think it's going to be 5 years, 300 mil. If you stand on that, I got a little something for you. I need to know that. But in any case here, yeah, dude, the Niners have all sorts of issues. You got to sign Dre Greenlaw. You have disgruntled Brandon Ayuk. You've moved on past Debo. You know, George Kittle only has a certain amount of time left. You know, we don't know what Christian McCaffrey we're getting. Who are you going to go out there and sign without affecting his contract? You know,
one thing I find very interesting is the devaluation of NFL skill players. Can we talk about that? Like, I mean,
you talk about it. I got to show Papa J what he could win.
Oh Lord, he's gonna win. All right, but he's going into the treasure trove. Papa J, get ready, get ready.
Find it, though.
But one thing I noticed is that, you know, it seems like the NFL is doing a very good job of making sure that the amount of money that these guys are getting paid is purely between the team and the player. But whenever it's time to trade them, they aren't worth a bag of chips. We've seen most players get traded for. I think Deebo Samuel was traded for a 5th round draft pick. What did the Raiders get for Devontae Adams? I think they only got
they got a pick and a burger to go with it.
Nothing. So the NFL does a very good job, or at least their owners do, making sure that the value of players, it's not worth anything if you're getting traded. Like, there's nothing in it for a team to trade a player. And I guess maybe that has something to do with the fact they don't have fully guaranteed contracts, but My goodness, man. Some of these things, I mean, we're looking at some of these contracts now. They look crazy. Even Davante Adams just signed a deal for what? $46 million deal.
2 years.
For 2 years. I don't know how much of that is guaranteed. It says $26 million of it is guaranteed.
So all he has to do is play one season.
Right.
That's it.
But if you traded him, well, he couldn't even get traded.
Yeah.
So, right. So it's very interesting the way that works. But anyway, go ahead, B. I'll have to bring back
Papa J. Brock Purdy signs that 5-year, $300 million deal. I'm sending this to you. I know he's a Laker fan.
That's right.
So that's one less LA thing in my house right now. But yeah, this is for you, Papa J. If he signs that $503 million contract or 5-year, $300 million contract, this is yours here. Anything less or more, I send it off to get graded so I can make money off of this.
There you go. Boom. Don't never say we never gave you, or at least offered something. I can't say gave. But...
Hey, we gave a signed jersey away last time.
Yeah, we did. We actually did.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. What's up? You want to talk to some NBA, man? Because
I think everything else is dog water.
I'm a little overstimulated with all these ridiculous contract signings, which it's going to get intensified now. Kind of seeing where some of these contracts went, it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, and it will, because the NFL keeps making more and more money. Let's just be honest. I mean, they're making money hand over fist, so they should have to pay people. That's just what it's going to be. You know, and the NBA.
The collective agreement just went up to like $270 million, I think, per team. Yeah. I think they just signed that not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at what the NFL has been doing over the past few years. They've been pushing their game international like crazy. They added another international game for this upcoming season. They've been taking the route of streaming services. They dropped a couple games on Christmas. We had like a full week of football where there were like 5 games. If you remember, it was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It was crazy.
Hey, you know what? The NFL, I dare the NFL to go play a football game in China where they don't even watch football. Riddle me that. Go do that.
Yeah, they like Chinese like basketball. They don't like football.
That's what I'm saying. So give it a shot. Why not?
And Pop J says all these contracts are going to make the owners broke. No, they won't.
No, they
don't have guaranteed contracts, Papa J. It might say 50 million, but only half of that is guaranteed. So and they have the right to get cut in any moment, any time.
When you got walking zombies still owning teams, they ain't going broke. No, so they be all right.
All right. Yeah, they're doing good. Even Mark Davis with his bowl haircut is still making money somehow with his 20-something-year-old wife. It's ridiculous. All right, let's move on. Let's jump
to the NBA.
Let's jump to the NBA.
Let's talk about your team, since everyone loves our Laker videos on this page. Let's talk about your Lakers, man.
I sense a little bit of you all right?
Animosity? Animosity? Hell yeah, there's animosity towards that. I got to defend my team.
So just to give some background here, I've been posting highlights in the NBA, mainly for the Lakers and the Warriors as well, when I can get to them. And you know, I mean, I'm not going to be rude here, but some of the Laker stuff has been getting a lot of viewership. Yeah. And, you know, that's being taken a certain way by my boy here, who is a Warriors fan, obviously, and don't appreciate the fact that the Lakers are kind of a hot story.
No, hold on. I don't appreciate anything, LA. You know that. From the badminton team to the soccer team.
I didn't know we had a badminton team.
All LA sports teams suck. I say it like that, and I stand.
How are we going to suck when we win championships? Get out of here. All right.
You ain't won a championship since what? The early 2000s. The Mickey Mouse don't count.
What are you talking about? We won in 2020.
It doesn't count. It was a short season.
Oh my! Here we go. All right, I haven't won
it since.
Whatever.
Anyways,
the Lakers have been on a very good run. They've continued to do that. They did run into the buzzsaw of the Boston Celtics. I was hoping they'd win that game because I do not like the Celtics for obvious reasons. Any Laker fan will tell you the Celtics is not the team you want to lose to. But to be really honest about this game, look, they just put this team together like 2 weeks ago. They weren't going to be great enough to beat the Celtics at this point, especially when guys are missing. Rui Hachimura's out. You've got Jackson Hayes, who's the only center they have on the team. He didn't even play, so he was out as well.
He's day-to-day right now.
Right, so this was going to be an uphill battle. I thought they fought very well the first half. Celtics really started to get away from them. Third quarter, they destroyed them. Fourth quarter, we cut it to 4 points from 20 down and just didn't have enough offense to get over the hump. The Celtics have a bad habit of giving up leads. They did it against the
Cavaliers.
Cavaliers.
Every NBA team's got bad habits of giving up.
But they cut 20 to 4. Like, after Luka hit that bank shot, the bank's 3-point shot, there was a chance there. But unfortunately, the Lakers were really over-reliant on 3-point shots, shot too many in my estimation, and didn't run any real sets to try to create some movement for the Boston Celtics defense. And that's what killed them in the third quarter. They tried to go one-on-one, and it did not work. Al Horford was locking everybody up. Al Horford, old ass, was just guarding everyone. He was like, I'll guard Luka, I'll guard LeBron, and he was out there balling. I'm not even mad at him. I'm not even mad. The man's 55,000 years old, and he is out there guarding Luka Doncic somehow. And it was because the Lakers didn't do anything. They didn't do anything systematic-wise as far as gameplay or setting up different plays to get guys the ball in specific spaces. Instead, it was just one guy going one-on-one at the top of the key. It was a terrible offensive strategy, and I hope they learn from that and get a little bit better with it, because you can't just go one-on-one every single time, and that's what they tried to do. So hopefully they learned from it. I'm not really mad at I'm not mad at that game. They lost. The Celtics are a better team at this point. And the Denver Nuggets lost too. Thankfully. So that didn't hurt us standing wise much. Oh God,
the Thunder blew them out. That game was close up until like the last 2 minutes, and the Thunder said
crazy. Yeah.
And then LeBron gets hurt, down 1 to 2 weeks. So let me ask you this, T. Obviously, you get a nice game against the Brooklyn Nets, even though they're not that bad. They're a scrappy little team. They gave the Warriors everything that they could handle.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away, because the Warriors played a flawless game, and Brooklyn hung in with them. I would be very suspect if they don't. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers lost to the Nets. And I'm only saying that because anytime guys like LeBron or Curry come into your gym, they show up. Teams just show up for some odd reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So Cam Thomas is a great ball player, and his 3-point shot has gotten so much better. That's the only guy I could really name on the Nets. So I mean,
okay, so
he's the only guy I could throw at you with that.
Under normal circumstances, I would totally agree with you, right? I would be like, B, you're absolutely right. They've been on this run, it's been great, but if Bron's going to be out for 1 or 2 weeks, they probably are in trouble here. But the biggest difference with this team and the team from 3 months ago, they got freaking Luka Doncic on their team.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, you're going to lose LeBron, but then you just give more minutes and shots to Luka Doncic? I mean, I don't think it's... I'm not saying that the Nets won't give them a run for their money, but more than likely what's going to happen is you're going to have LeBron and Rui Hachimura out for the next week or so, but you're going to get Jackson Hayes back. You still have Austin Reeves, who is trying to get himself acclimated, but hasn't really had a great game. Having him as the second scorer instead of LeBron being on the court I think is going to help invigorate his offensive play. So I think this is a good thing. Bron sits out for a while. You're going to have guys rely more on defense and hopefully do a little bit more with play calling, because honestly, just picking mismatches is kind of stupid. It's not fun to watch either. And so I think they'll be fine, man. Honestly, I think they can beat this team. I don't know how they're going to fare against, because they got Denver, I think, that well that week. And then they've got the Milwaukee Bucks, and so there's going to be some tough teams.
The Bucks have been playing some good basketball too.
Don't lie, B.
They're slow. I said they've been, not saying that they are still playing good basketball.
They're okay.
They're playing the Cavs right now. Let me see where that game's at.
I'm sure they're losing.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're down by 14.
Game's over.
98-84.
It looks like Cleveland already turned it in, because Donovan Mitchell's sitting on the bench now, and there's still 5 minutes in this game.
Yeah, look, let's keep a buck. Literally, they have way underachieved for having Dame Lillard and Giannis on the same team. Like, this team is not good, and I don't understand how in the hell. Well, I know why, actually, but you see those names.
Doc Rivers, right?
No, first off, you put Doc Rivers on your team, you're going to lose in the playoffs. Everybody knows that. You'll make the playoffs, but you'll lose the playoffs. But it's not just that. It's the fact that you're playing with a really heavy pick and roll point guard or shooting guard, but you don't have a pick and roll big. Giannis does not play in the pick and roll. That's not his game. He's just not good at it. You know what I mean? And he's used to having the ball in his hands and playing from that sort of high post area, making a few moves, getting the jumper, which he's improved on and is really good at, or putting his head down, getting right to the rim and get to the free throw line, or dunking all over you, your mama, your grandmama, and everybody else that's on your team. But unfortunately, because those two guys don't play in tandem, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're literally doing the Kawhi Leonard, James Harden thing. It's like your turn, my turn. It's not working. So I'd be surprised if the Bucks continue with this team as it stands after this season. I would, if I was them, I would check in with Giannis real quick. Giannis, how you feeling, buddy? Because you cannot afford to lose Giannis.
Jared Allen just dunked all over Brook Lopez right now. How is Brook Lopez still in the league? Like, how is he still relevant?
Because he can shoot and rebound.
And I'm a Stanford
tall.
guy. I'm like, what are you still doing in here?
Tall.
Jesus
Is Robin Lopez still backing up somewhere? He's still a backup somewhere?
I think he's still a backup somewhere.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know where, but he's out there somewhere.
Oh, that was nasty. Yep. That was a poster.
But yeah, moving forward, I think the Lakers are in a good spot. This next week will be a test of how well JJ Redick is as a coach, because he's going to have to get these other guys up. Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, who had a great game against the Knicks. Mind you, that was a great game, by the way, against the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is an absolute dog. Man was out there balling out of control.
And rolled his ankle, too, man. Speedy recovery to him, man. Jalen Brunson is a baller. But
the Lakers did a great job of getting back in that game, because they were down 10 or 12 throughout a majority of that game until about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But in any case, so move forward, Lakers have a couple of games where they're on the road, but I think they still have an opportunity to continue to be good. As long as they keep playing defense like they have, which you saw some of that in the Celtics game as well, I think they'll be okay. They're going to be fine, folks. Right. It's going to be great. Let's move it over.
I hope you guys find a way to lose 4 in a row. That'd be nice.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. Let's move it over to the Warriors. I'll start with the Warriors, as B has mentioned, have one of the softest schedules.
Hell yeah, we do. That ain't our problem.
It has shown.
Hey, that ain't our problem.
I mean,
that's not our problem.
They have been steamrolling.
I'm trying to hear all of that right now.
They are steamrolling traffic cones like nobody's business. They're not even dribbling around them, folks. They are just running them over. But good on the Warriors. They look like a much more cohesive team. Jimmy Butler has definitely added an offensive spark, but to my surprise, has actually become a good glue guy. I think he does a great job of catching the ball and really making plays for other people. So I think he's been able to do some of what we see from Draymond Green in their offense as well, by being able to create for others. And the fact that he can put the ball up and shoot himself helps draw a little bit of attention away from, or really a lot of attention away from, Steph Curry. Moody still continuing to play well, in my opinion.
I love that for him.
He's with Kuminga out, he's still continue to be a starting staple on that roster. Man, I like what they've done so far, man. I think you Post, another guy who nobody knows about, out of nowhere comes out there and gets rebounds and shoots threes and does all the little things on defense that you otherwise wouldn't expect a 7-foot stick figure to do, but he's getting it done.
Rest in peace, Trace Jackson Davis. We're never going to see him on the court again.
Rest in peace. Guy didn't die.
I know, but dude, he was starting before Quentin Post came up.
He was.
And now he's not even going to see the court because Quentin Post brings something different that the Warriors absolutely 100% need from him.
Yeah. Well, tell us. I mean, your Warriors climbed from what were they? 10?
We went from 10? The dungeon to the high rise.
They are now.
We are in the playoff high rise.
They are nearly 10 games over 500 if they can get another 2. They're in the 6th seed. They have jumped over the Clippers, who have been on a downward slide out of the league at this point. I don't know what they're doing. Actually, I do know what they're doing. They're the Clippers. They're doing what they normally do. Being the crappiest franchise known to man. Get out of LA and go to San Diego or something. Nobody wants to go to Intuit Dome to watch you guys crap all over yourselves as we watch Kawhi Leonard, who's had the same cornrows since he was 5. We don't want to see it anymore. James Harden.
I thought we were talking about the Warriors.
Bread and his sweaty beard. Anyway, so the Warriors have climbed to 6, man, and they are right there knocking on the door. They're about three games back. you guys are about 3 or 4 games back from the Grizz. But you got to look at the loss column, too. The Grizz have 4 more wins, but they also have 4 less losses, so they're a little bit further ahead of you. The Rockets, I think, is attainable. The Rockets are up and down. I think you guys can catch them if you can keep with the traffic cones. And
don't be mad. Don't be mad about our traffic.
I'm not mad, but hey, I'm not mad. But if you do, let me turn it over to you. You're the Warriors fan. How you feeling about this team? What have you seen this past week?
I love it. Are you kidding me? This is championship. First of all,
championship.
Why are people poking the bear? Why is Isaiah getting Steph Curry all wild up for?
Oh, Isaiah Stewart?
Yeah,
he does that to everybody. It's not just Steph Curry.
Saying. But on this road trip, like people were were probing Curry, right? Like the Nets were so physical with Curry. Like Curry had a shoulder check homeboy to say, look, man, I'm not playing this game no more, and then proceeded to light everybody up right after that there. You need to stop pissing Steph Curry off, because when he's mad, that's when everybody gets in trouble if you're not on this team. And so you just need to stop that. I appreciate it, but if you want a chance to win, because Detroit had a chance to win that game last night, and that was a very, very good game between the Warriors and the Pistons, but I'm glad the Warriors brought them down to normality there. But the Jimmy Butler effect is real.
Yeah.
What he brings to this team, we can talk about it week after week after week, but he installed something in this team that they were missing. It was a fire. It was a little more of an attitude. It was hey, I'm coming to your team, but that doesn't change who I am. I think Jimmy Butler earns a lot of respect in that locker room just for what he does. Yeah. And it makes Steph Curry's job that much easier. So I'm super juiced here. Let me tell you the schedule for the rest of the year, just so I can really rub this one in.
You roll all these dumpster garbage lottery teams. Go ahead.
You ready?
Let's hear it.
Tomorrow night got the Portland Trailblazers.
Cone.
Thursday night, the Sacramento Queens.
Whoa, hold on now. The Kings are playing pretty well.
Nope. We're a different team now.
Okay. All right.
The New York Knicks. New York Knicks, I still think are a decent threat. Even without Jalen Brunson here, they still have a really good team. Then the Denver Nuggets.
Ooh.
Milwaukee Bucks, and then this is where the schedule goes to an absolute tank. They get Toronto, at Atlanta, at Miami, at New Orleans, at San Antonio, at Memphis, who's struggling right now. We get one more matchup with you guys, the Lakers, and then it's just every Pacific Division team after that. So we did our hard schedule already. We went on these dumbass long road trips where 6 games in like 2.5 days.
Yeah, we got one coming up too.
You guys got that one. The Warriors still have one more East Coast road trip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Warriors still have a 7-game road trip, and they already did one in the beginning of the year. The NBA is ridiculous when it comes to these road trips, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know, but at least you guys got road cones. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, we played all of our tough teams, and we handled them. Like, we played okay.
You handled them? You were in the 10th spot.
Hold on. Time out.
Calm down
Hold
now.
on. I was going to run through the teams, not all of them.
All right.
We handled OKC for the most part this year. OKC doesn't have an answer for the Warriors.
Okay, right? So you're saying matchup-wise, you like how you guys look against OKC.
OKC needs to be a little concerned because, that playoff resume is going to take place. They beat Boston at home. They beat Boston in Boston. I mean, look, Cleveland is Cleveland. Like, they actually got worked by them. They've played Houston really well. They've gotten through the tough part of their schedule there, and they played pretty decent against those teams. So now that this is a new team and they're hitting their stride here, I really don't see a bad matchup for the Warriors at all. I just really don't, barring any injuries.
Yeah, don't say it.
I say that now, and then literally LeBron is out for 1 to 2 weeks.
Right, dude. I'm telling you, it never fails. You freaking open your mouth and you say the I word, and then stuff starts happening. So keep it to yourself, man. The greatest thing I think you guys got going for you is the fact that Kuminga is coming back at some point, and he's one of your better young players. Although I know how much you love Moody. But Kuminga is only going to make your team better. So
Kuminga's coming off the bench. Moody deserves.
You think so?
100%.
All right.
Moody has not given Steve Kerr any reason to go right back to the bench. He has not. And the one thing that is working for the Warriors is this starting five lineup is helping set the tone for the game. So Kerr loves that kind of stuff. He's never going to change it. So he's always going to ride with it there. So he's going to ride with Moody for this. And rightfully so. Moody's earned that spot.
All right, well, we'll see, man. That'd be interesting to see how that breaks down. But
if he switches that up, I will have a field day with that. Well, you can't have Jimmy Butler and Kuminga on the court at the same time.
I'm sure you can, man. Sure you can.
And not if Kuminga's not making his free throws.
All right. Well, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, either way, he's gonna be an asset when he comes back. But hey, let's we got about 5 minutes left. Let's move over to one last topic, and let's talk about the situation that happened between a certain NBA player and a certain broadcaster. And that's none other than LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Yeah. So in between the third and fourth quarters of the Knicks game, obviously it was a televised game. You know, everybody named Mama was there. Spike Lee was there. Everybody's there. Stephen A. Smith was also in attendance, and LeBron made a point to go over to him. This is in the middle of the game, y'all. This ain't halftime. This is between the third and the fourth quarter. All right, so start of the fourth. And said, basically goes over to him and says something to the effect of, keep my son's name out your mouth. Don't talk about me. He pulled a
Will Smith and didn't, but the only thing is he didn't slap him. Although that would have been nice.
Oh, could you imagine?
Oh, that would have been great.
Just Stephen A's whole toupee flying off and shit.
The rest of the hairline for Stephen A. Smith would have just flew right off. I don't even know if that's
his hair anymore. I can't.
It'd have been like that Pringles commercial with the mustaches flying.
Yeah, his hair would have flapped away.
His hair just would have.
It would have flapped away. His hair would have flew away. He would have been on the ground. He would have showed up in a neck brace on ESPN the next morning.
He would have showed up with crutches. I'm like, ooh, I'm telling you.
But basically, this stems from Stephen A. Smith talks a lot, and he did make some comments about he felt like he was doing wrong by his son because of the whole situation with him being drafted and the fact that he's held out for the Lakers to draft him because keeping other folks from drafting him and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. There have been comments as well around, Bronny James' contract, which, let's be honest, Bronny James is not making a ton of money. He's making about $1 million maybe. And so, I guess, LeBron being a dad probably was like, I don't think you understand, what I'm trying to do here. This is my son. Of course I'm going to help him out. And then also, I think one thing that gets lost is the fact that Bronny James almost died like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He had a cardiac arrest on the floor at USC, and his heart stopped. That's what cardiac arrest means, folks.
Yep.
And so you can imagine that as a father, and I got 2 kids, boys of my own, is when somebody says something about you, that's okay. But when they start saying who you are as a father, and they start talking about it's just like going up to a mom and saying you're a bad mom. You're gonna get the worst possible version of that person if you call a mom a bad mom. Like, you're going to get the fire every time.
You don't get that mama bear.
Yeah, so I think that was just Bron just defending his family. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, man. I'm with you on this, B. I'm tired of these guys.
I'm tired of Stephen A. Smith.
If you're going to talk, you got to be willing to take the lumps.
You got to take the repercussions of what you say as well.
Absolutely.
100%.
100%. Because LeBron isn't thinking about Stephen A. Smith's kids.
Nah.
Right? None of us are, because we don't even know who they are.
Nah, because he got that terrible ass hairline. That's all we can focus on.
Well, that too. The rainbow hairline. Yeah, that too. But it also speaks to a bigger thing, because Bron also made the comments about how great the game was. You and I, we talked about this being one of the better eras in basketball, bar none, and people might disagree with that, but some of the players that are playing now are all world right now, right? Yeah. Out of the whole history of the NBA, some of the best basketball has happened over the past 15 years.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
We can't argue that. We're watching the best 3-point shooter, the best shooter to ever play in the game of basketball.
The best mid-range ever.
We're watching the best mid-range player since Larry Bird in Kevin Durant. We're watching one of the greatest basketball players of all time who just scored 50,000 freaking points.
Yeah.
And as much as we want to heap all of the love towards guys like Jordan and all these, Jordan played in an era with who else is on that top list with him? Karl Malone. That's it.
Not to knock that era, but all that era was just bully ball. That's all it really was. Like, it was a physical era of basketball.
And I'm talking about the era where Jordan was. I'm not talking about the one before. We're not talking about the 80s. 80s was arguably a very, very good era as well.
It was.
But when we're talking about the 90s,
it was nothing.
I mean,
you had an up and coming Kobe Bryant, but he wasn't. He was
drafted in 96, so that was at the end.
He wasn't Kobe yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so guys like Stephen A. Smith, and I'm gonna throw Kendrick Perkins in there. Dude, they just need to shut up and just enjoy this here.
Yeah.
We've never seen in the life of an NBA player, we've never seen a dad get a chance to play with his son. And as much as I hate it, you know how much I bag on that.
Yeah.
You got to respect it, man. The guy is he's going to be in his 40s. And guess what? He's got a second son who just committed to Arizona and is a hell of a ball player and will probably find himself in the league. So you know what LeBron's going to do? He's going to stay in the league. And just guess what? He may get a chance to play with both of his sons before that expires. You don't see that in any professional sport.
No.
Rarely. You don't see it in the NFL because careers are just too short in the NFL. You rarely see it in baseball, and you've never seen it in basketball. We are now seeing it. We hear about kids, like Carlos Boozer's kids are going to Duke. You hear about Carmelo Anthony's son going to play at Syracuse, but we're never going to see the two of them on the court again. We are witnessing something that is not going to happen again, and that is LeBron maybe having a chance to play with his two sons. His only two sons that he has, and he's got a baby girl as well.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get that opportunity again. So why not extend it? Why not let the NBA give this man what he wants because what he's done for the game? And that's what Stephen A. Smith is missing right now, is what LeBron has done to the game. The NBA will cater to LeBron as much as they can because he's deserved it. He's earned that right.
Yeah. And as much as people want to hate, look, there are very few players in the history of our game, and we're not trying to be on LeBron. You see the guy behind me. That's my favorite player. But for a guy to be in the social media era and be as squeaky clean as he's been the entire time.
Him and Curry.
Yeah, Curry too.
Curry
too. Now, Curry's wife kind of did some weird stuff. Okay, so, I'm going to point that out. But other than that, he been all right. You know what I mean? But there have been very few stories around LeBron and his family that have to do with him and his family. And so to go through the social media era and that's cool, and not have stories popping out about what you've done and all your illegitimate children, Michael Jordan, whose son, by the way, is on cocaine right now. So before we start capping on...
My dad is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Go watch that video.
So before we start hating on LeBron and his son, let's think about the fact that the guy that we want to hand the reins to's son is in jail and smoking, and not smoking, but and is doing cocaine. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's something to be said, and that's why this makes sense. Because, of course, he would come to his son's defense. He's been building them to be the men they are since they were born. So as a good father, he's doing what he should. If he didn't, then why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Guess what? Their sons are earning their right. Their sons can't get out of college or can't come straight out of high school and go play in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're playing in college. Now, I'm going to tell you, Bronny James didn't have that strong of a...
he did not. He's tearing up the G League. He's tearing up the G League.
Tearing up the G League, but his college career wasn't all that great.
No, it was short.
But, again, they are earning their right to be in that position there. Does their father's name carry weight? It carries a little bit of weight. Why not? You know what Del Curry's known as? Steph Curry's dad. Yeah. And he's the one who paved the way for Curry.
Right. Exactly.
But Curry took his own way. These kids are going to take their own way. Once LeBron leaves the league, it's almost like, all right, now it's up to you guys at this point. Like, it's just like if you went to work with your dad for the first time, right?
Yeah.
And your dad is like, hey, let me show you the ropes real quick. And then your dad leaves, and now it's you at that job.
Yeah.
So that's all this is. And for Stephen A. Smith to say what he said, you can't challenge a dadhood. You can't, especially when you have one.
Yeah. Yeah, and Stephen A. Smith, again, these are talking heads. These are opinionated people.
Yeah.
he tried to come back and say all this mess about how, the difference between me and the other is I've covered the league. But at the end of the day, all you're really getting paid for is an opinion and a some fiery, idea or whatever you want to throw out there. A hot take, basically. It started with you and the other guy, who's now doesn't even have a job anymore. Skip Bayless.
Well, Skip kind of screwed that up himself.
Yeah, but my point is that these guys are getting paid to be that way, and so are we really looking to these people for integrity when the fact is that their job is to be as outlandish as possible in order to get paid? That's their job. They're no different from any other weirdo that you would see out there just trying to say as much weird nonsense as possible. And yeah, Stephen A. Smith gets to rub his elbows with NBA players, NFL players, and gets to talk to them. But he's not Adrian Wojnarowski or Sham Sharani or these other guys who are actually in the mix breaking stories. Those guys don't even have time to be on TV. They're too busy. They're too busy trying to make deals.
They're doing their job is what they're doing here.
Right, exactly. Journalists actually write. That's why whenever they're on TV, they're only on there for a 5-minute spot and they're gone. Because they actually have a job to do. Stephen A. Smith's job is not to be a journalist. Stephen A. Smith's job is to create hot takes and say a bunch of nonsense.
You know what drives me nuts with Stephen A. Smith is when he goes, Molly Smith, turn that camera over here. Let me speak my piece real quick. Dude, save the drama, man. Ain't nobody care. Just say what you got to say and get over with. But stop calling people out and then getting upset when someone approaches you about it and says, hey, man, that ain't cool. I wish he would have slapped Stephen A. Smith to see all that hair or the remaining of it just come out.
And we know what he's doing, right? Like, he's got his own podcast where he discusses political topics and all this other stuff.
God.
Like, he's doing the Joe Rogan thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to create this space to where you are your own brand. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But just understand there are repercussions in that the one thing I feel is missing from a lot of who we allow to talk about the game are people who actually want to see the game succeed.
You know what? Since we're on the Stephen A. Smith topic, let me tell you this. The dude is in the CIAA Hall of Fame. You know what that stands for? Nobody cares about you not playing in the NCAA at all. It's the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association. Like dude, we're comparing you to these professional athletes since you can't keep their names out your mouth. You were nothing in sports here. And I don't care if your career came to an injury, you weren't going to be that good anyway. So miss me with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, we got to find ways, like I said, to celebrate the game. And I just think some of these guys are really negative about everything.
Yeah.
We got to find a way to pitch it, to make it do your job and promote the league. Because I watch basketball because I like basketball. I'm not watching Stephen A. Smith because I want to hear what he has to say. I know I know that everything's changed now. Everybody wants to hear somebody say something that they like, right? We all want to hear something that sounds, like what we think in our heads.
Yeah.
And I get that. But at the end of the day, it's okay to be challenged.
I'd much rather watch Stephen A. Smith on mute with no subtitles.
You want to watch something? Watch Oklahoma City play basketball.
They played the Thunder, top two teams in the West.
Right.
West went at it today.
Watch the Celtics play basketball. And you know another thing I'm tired of hearing? I don't want any more They gotta get some broadcasters in these games who are not just discussing stories. Doris Burke, I love you, but I'm getting tired of listening to you. I'm sorry.
I love Doris Burke.
I know, but I'm getting tired of the way that he does. We know that, but I want to hear more about what's actually happening in the game. One of the greatest things that the NFL did was put guys like Tony Romo, Tom Brady, guys in the box who are going, this is what they're doing. This is how they're countering it. This is what they need to do. This is what they should have done. We need more of that and less of, Jokic is the greatest passer I've ever seen. I'm tired of that. I want to hear somebody talk about that. We talked to Hubie Browns of the world. We talked about Barnett, who is, again, I'll keep saying this, but Barnett is in my opinion one of the greatest play-by-play guys, one of the greatest commentators you'll find in live in game, because he can break the game down in the moment, and because he was willing to give the other team props Even though he was a Warriors commentator, he was willing to give the other team props when they were playing good and willing to criticize his own team when they were playing bad. And we need more of that.
Absolutely.
We need more of that so that we can teach these kids that the game of basketball is not just a bunch of idiots running up and down the floor shooting threes. It's way more complicated than that.
Yep.
And that's what I think is missing. Everything is dumbed down, milk carton the hell out for as easy consumption as possible. And it's okay to teach people the game of basketball. We don't have to dumb everything so far down that a kid should know what a pick and roll is.
Yeah.
Like we can still talk and teach the game a little bit.
Is not pick and roll your boogers, okay?
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's my point. I want to hear more of that and less of Stephen A. Smith.
Agree to that, my brother.
Because I'm tired of this, woe is me, the game and the game and the game. The only reason these things exist is because the game exists. The fact that more viewers are watching ESPN than they are watching these games is a travesty.
Atrocious.
Watch the product, not the people that talk about the product.
Yeah. Kendrick Perkins, you loser.
Kendrick Perkins, the fact that he got a job right now
blows my mind. People love it.
Jalen Rose got run out of the ESPN fast.
Jalen Rose was one of the best too. All right, because all he did was break the game down, and he was real with it. Kendrick Perkins is just boring.
I can't even tell if Kendrick is awake half the time.
He makes Shaq sound a lot clearer.
I think I was watching one time and it looked like he was asleep. He was really like, yeah, y'all, I think that my boy Kyrie Irving, I talked to him last night while he was eating steak dinner and he said he's going to be okay. I'm like, man, get out of here.
Yo, we didn't even get a chance to dive into how just atrocious Dallas season just absolutely went.
My man picked the wrong side of the wishbone because it all went downhill from there.
That's what you get, Clay. Probably should have just
you were still mad at Clay. I don't think the Mavs could give two craps about Clay right now. They thinking we traded for AD, who's gone. Kyrie's done for the season. Both our centers are out. We don't even have a snowball's chance in hell of winning any game for the rest of the season at this point.
Clay Thompson they sold Clay on a dream. They were like, yeah, you're going to have Luka, you're going to have Kyrie, you're going to have all these open shots. And now it's just him.
Yeah, well, I think the better question is, what did he do with them shots?
Like, he can't create a shot. He has to come off the ball.
He cannot
create.
And the problem
today he was trying to create, and I was like, dude, you're not going to make it. You cannot create.
It was rough.
It was terrible.
It was rough. But I think Clay may be better. Clay thinks he's better than what he is. In his mind, I think he's better. But on the court, my man can't guard anymore. He's so hot and cold that he's not playable sometimes. And I hate to even say that.
Hey, you know what?
He's not
sound
playable.
Like, you sound like you're talking about Buddy Hield right now too.
I could have told you that. Buddy Hield's been up and down since the Kings, man. He ain't never been that guy.
Oh God, we're surviving though. We're doing great for ourselves, as I like to say.
Yeah, trade him back for Malik Monk.
No. Actually, I wouldn't mind Malik Monk.
Oh, Malik Monk is a great player. I love Malik Monk. He's a great player, man. Played for the Lakers for a while. Instant offense off the bench.
Yeah, now he ain't on your team no more.
Yeah, well, this the Kings out there running like 5 guards, boy. They got DeRozan. They got Levine. They got Monk, boy.
They got the Sacramento Bulls out there.
Sacramento, telling you, young bull. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah, well, I think that. Oh, we got David Becerra. Thanks for joining us, David. We miss you, Jim Barnett. Yes.
We miss him too. He's not dead, everybody, but
he's not dead. He just retired. He moved on. But anyway, I think that that's about all we got, folks. I don't got too much more to cover from this week in sports. We're gonna come back with more NFL talk next week because, like I said, although all these things have happened, the actual NFL free agency starts tomorrow. So we'll get a chance to find out what players have been picked up. And hopefully see if our respective teams, meaning the Raiders and the Ravens, we'll talk about the Niners too, and then whatever other big signings come up. We'll see what they did.
We'll talk about them.
They need a wide receiver at this point.
They need a whole lot.
They need a wide receiver bad. Hopefully they get one. All right, y'all. Well, until next time, Peace. Be on the lookout for our short form videos. The shorts, we're going to be putting them out on a pretty regular basis, and we're going to try to. Do not forget to like and subscribe. If you know somebody that might like this show, you let them know. If they want to hear the real, just regular people, right? Get into the chat and be a part of what we're doing. Tell them, come on.
Don't miss all of our Lakers shorts. Can't wait.
What